And yeah, I'm live and I'm getting my hair out of my face. Yeah. Hi, how's it going? Well, here we are, January 26th. And it seems like only a few weeks ago that we were talking about it being the beginning of 2019. And here we are. It's the end of the first month, end of January, just about. It's 26th. Got until next Thursday for it to be the official end of the month. But yeah, it's coming. So how you doing? I hope it's been a good week for you. It's in a way, it's actually been a good week for me, and you'll find out why. I'm laughing, I'm laughing even in the face of like what looks like a lot of bad shit is about to happen to me because I've been sending out a lot of resumes this week. Well, I shouldn't say a lot. I've probably sent out about a dozen this week. I got one interview, which was to, of course, sell insurance. I've had I've had 5 interviews in the last 7 months, and 4 of them have been for insurance sales. I'm going to put this out there right now. If the insurance sales business is so great, why are they always looking for people? And it's not because the market expands so quickly. I think it's got to be because it's just like it's hell to sell insurance. It really is, I mean, I think the only people that actually stay are the ones that make any money in the first year. After that, you can't afford to do it anymore. And I'm not discounting it. There are some really good people who sell insurance. But at the same time, it's just like, oh my God. I'm so tired of this. And I actually went in and I actually told the guy, I says, I don't even know why I'm here, to be quite honest. And I was like, oh, you have to go to somebody's house. And I was like, I'm not going to someone's house. I can't go to someone's house. I don't want to go to someone's house and sell them anything. So the interview was over in like 25 minutes. I was supposed to be there for a full hour. And the interview was over in 25 minutes. I was just like, I just can't deal with this anymore. So I've made a vow that anyone else is like, you are a perfect pick for us. I'm going to be like, I've been interviewed 4 other times for selling insurance. No, I'm not an insurance person. If you have an office job for me, I will take it. Other than that, I don't want to meet people. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to go to people's houses. I don't want to try to sell them stuff. I will be your receptionist. But yeah, yesterday though, I did get a call, headhunter, and she's like, they have an administrative assistant job here in Harrisburg. Pays $16 an hour. Let me look up how much that actually is. 16 times 40. So it's $640 a week. A little less than what I used to make. It works out to about $33,000 a year. Right now, I need income coming in. So, as long as it's here in Harrisburg and I'm not like driving a long ways, I'll take $33,000 a year. So they fired off my resume right away, and she says, "Yeah, it looks like a good position," because she's reading everything off, and I'm telling her, I've written documents, I've edited documents, I've published a novel, I've worked on web pages, I've managed people. I go, I don't see why I couldn't do this. So I'm hoping to hear something next week. Seriously, it's just at this point, it's like, if you're looking for somebody who has actual experience of someone who's sat in an HR department and done this shit, Jesus. I've written stuff that has kept businesses going. Don't tell me I can't do this job. So I'm hoping. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. It was like I told the insurance dude. I said I need a paycheck like in 2 weeks. I really do. Next week is going to be it's going to be sketchy. Let's just put it that way. I don't know how much money I have left, but it can't be a lot. Thinking I probably will make next month's rent. After that, it's like shit or go time. But yeah, actually, I was really surprised because this call came from out of nowhere. They were like, "Are you looking for a change?" I said, "Look, I think I'm done with programming. Nobody wants to hire me for a programming job." I said, "I've been at it for 13 months. No one wants to hire me for a programming job. I've had one interview related to IT, and they came up with some BS excuse about why they didn't want to hire me." I said, "So I think I don't think anyone's going to hire me." I said, "Right now, I'm just looking to bring in some income. I don't care. I need something that's going to allow me to keep playing the lottery every week in the hopes that, I'll snag $1 million at some point and I'll say, well, that's it. I'm done. Yeah, I'm done for my life right now." Really. I don't think anything bad's going to happen to me. I mean, it could, but I don't think so. I think something's going to happen. I always do say that. It's better than being the pessimist I used to be, where if I was still really pessimistic and depressed and everything else, I wouldn't be here. I really wouldn't. That's just how the shit goes. Damn. My chair is, I think, giving out on me. So if you see me like adjusted at some point here while I'm talking, it's because I finally think the spring, the hydraulic spring that's inside the chair is finally giving out. And it's just one more thing that I can't afford to go out and get. I can't go out and buy a new chair. Jesus, everything is just going to hell on me. It really is. So, I'm doing my best. See, I'm watching my hairline up here with the buildings, with the seam up there in the roof. So if it actually drops down below that point, I'll know my chair is sinking. So I'll raise it back up again. So if you see me do that, the chair is breaking. What can I say? Everything I own is going to hell. It really is. Didn't do any writing. Talked about it. I actually I've been conversing with people about some of the stories I've written. And I did not check to see if anyone answered my poll from last week. I'm actually afraid to go out there and look. Let me see if you did answer my poll. I'm going to go out there and check right freaking now. I'm checking. And guess what? Nobody answered my poll. Yeah, nobody answered my poll. So there you go. There again. It's just more proof that no one's really paying attention to my blog. Not anymore. Maybe they're watching the videos. I think the ones that are watching the videos, those of you who are actually watching the videos, are doing so from like Facebook and shit like that. Not doing it off my blog. You guys are bad. I got like 1,100 followers and nobody answered that poll. So I guess no one really wants to see my writing anymore. So maybe I shouldn't even talk about writing. Maybe I shouldn't. That's why I'm answering shit here. I always like it. I get these email reports saying, these people are looking to hire folks just like you. And then I'll send them a resume and I'll never hear anything from them again. Well, obviously you lied to me, Kathy. Yeah, this is why I don't. This is why the blog is probably going to shut down at some point this year, because it does look as if not many people are paying attention to it anymore. Um, you know, I keep going. You tell me. I mean, nobody answered my poll from last week, so it's obvious nobody gives a shit. There you go. You know, some truth coming at you. Which is why I anymore I don't bother getting dressed up to do my videos. Because I don't think there's much of a point. I don't, like I said, I don't think I have much of an audience anymore. And I'm good with that. You know, I had a good run. I've been on WordPress for, a long time. So, you know, maybe it is time to just say, you know, your time on the blog spot has gone. The only time people were really reading you was when you were putting your novel out for free. And now that you're not doing that anymore, well, they've kind of moved on, you know, because you just go on these videos and ramble, and nobody wants to spend an hour watching a video of me rambling. I do think that's really part of it. I do believe that is that's really part of it. Nobody wants to watch a video. Nobody wants to watch a video of me rambling on like I'm doing now. Surprise Pikachu face. Oy. But, you know, something important did happen to me this week. Hold on, I gotta get. I'm bringing up another website, which I always say I should do this before I actually get on. Yeah, you know, I should do it before I get on, but you know, since no one's really watching this video, who gives a shit? You know, that's going to be my excuse from now on. Well, no one's really watching this video, so who cares? And let's see, what was last week? Surprisingly, that's kind of unusual. Well, that is interesting. Okay, so here we go. Get ready. Get ready for the hubbub. So, you know what's coming next. It's Derby. And Derby has become a rather important part of my life. In fact, it's about the only thing that's actually keeping me sane these days. It really is. It's the only thing that's been giving me any sort of hope. So, as you know, if you've been watching these videos, which based on what I'm able to determine, no, not a lot of you are. I'm going to give you guys shit about this. I have been spending a lot of time working at making myself a Derby player. Yes, I have. And when I left my old league, they who shall not be named, sort of become like a Lovecraftian thing there. When I left my old league and went over to Dutchland, I had to start literally over at the beginning. I did. I had to go into the tot class and start from the very beginning. There are some who might have objected to doing that. I didn't. I was like, okay, it's cool. I'll go into the tot class. If that's what you need me to do, I'm going to do this. And it actually was a good thing for me. Because as one of my coaches actually said, I've really seen you grow as a skater over the course of the 14, 15 weeks I was in the tot program, that I've been a tot. She said, I've really seen you grow as a skater. And sometimes it's good to go back to the beginning and just start doing all that stuff you thought you knew how to do and start doing it again and improving those skills. And that was actually one of the things my old coach told me when I left my last league. And we talked on Facebook. And she said, you actually made the right decision. It's a good thing. Go to another league, work on your skills, continue developing yourself. Because, she was like, if you're just going to sit around for 3 months, you're going to deteriorate. You're going to lose anything you've had up to this point. And that was one of the reasons why I did leave, because I felt if I came back after being off for 3 months, it was going to take me another 5 months to get back to where I had been, because I was going to lose all that. So, as you know, if you've watched these videos, which most of you haven't, I'm going to zing your asses on this. I pass. We do our tot program in 3 tiers. Okay. So we had tier 1, which I passed. We had tier 2, which I passed. So there were the few of us remaining made it into tier 3. And tier 3 consisted of 3 things, which are essentially timed events. One, you have to do 1 lap of the track being 180 feet in circumference. And you had to skate 1 lap from a standing start, not a flying start, but from a standing start in 13 seconds or less. Then you had to do weaving through 10 cones, weaving back and forth like this, that were placed on a line that eventually curved. And what they actually did was they would set them up on the outside of the track along one of the curves. So you'd have like 30 feet on a straightaway and then 20 feet remaining on a curve. Each one of the cones was about 5 feet apart, and you had to skate over a 50-foot distance. And you had to do that in 6 seconds or less. It's really a dexterity move because they're trying to see if you can maintain speed while you're going through these cones, and then being on a turn at the end, even though it's a mild turn, you'd be surprised that can really screw you up. And then last but not least, the unicorn, that rare unicorn that everybody wants to bridle, the 27.5, 27 laps of the track in 5 minutes. A lot of people will tell you you're skating a mile. It's actually 0.932 miles that you skate, or about a kilometer. It actually works out to almost like 1.6 kilometers. It's like 1.58 kilometers or something like that. um, in 5 minutes or less. And that's, I mean, it's the one that's really, really, really elusive. It can drive you, it drove me crazy. That was one of the reasons why I went in to the unit back last April, because I was kind of losing my shit over my inability to do a 27.5. That was part of it. So, yeah, it is. It's one of those things, everybody goes nuts over it. Unless you're like super athletic. Like I've known a couple of people who second or third time out, they nailed it. We actually had one woman at Hard who actually came within 1 second of doing it her first time because she was just that fast. She was just like lightning on skates. But it was the ugliest 27.5 you saw in your life. I've actually got it on video. I do. I have it on video. And it was just, she had absolutely no form whatsoever. It was just, I'm just pushing myself around the track as fast as I can and doing my best to stay on my feet. And she got a 501. We were just like amazed. And everybody was telling her, once you get your form down, you'll get it. And she did. Second time out, she nailed it. She was like, 450, 448, something like that. I mean, it was just incredible. She did. I will never forget that. It was just like, it was like watching someone who was about to wipe out at any second and not, it really was. It was like, I don't know how else to describe it. It did seem like at any moment she was going to crash and burn. And we're just watching this going, oh my God, is she going to make it or not? And then when she got it and they said 501, I was like, holy shit, she almost did it her first time out. Yeah, if you're really, really athletic and fast, you can do it. I mean, she's one of two people I know who did it on their second try. I know the other one did it on her second try because I was timing her. But it took me quite a few tries to get my laps. So yeah, that was the thing. I did my 27.5 back in December. I did 27 and a half laps. Since then, I've come tantalizingly close and actually done another 27.5. The one I told you about that I figured I actually skated 28 laps. And we figured it out. And it was like, yeah, I did skate 28 laps. So I've done like 2 27.5s. I've done like 4 or 5, 26 and a halves, 26 and 3/4. Yeah. I mean, I don't think I've had, since I've done my 27.5, I don't think I've done, maybe one time I did. No, I haven't done less than 26 laps since doing that. I haven't done a 27.5 in a while. However, I will say that it has been like a few weeks since I've done a 27.5. So probably get out there now. I'd have to kill myself to get a 27.5. But yeah, I did mine back in December. So I'm rambling. I know. I'm rambling. I'm the only one who's going to watch this video anyway, so who gives a shit? No, I know a couple of my friends will watch this video, so I'm not too worried about it. But so this last week and a half or so, they've been doing assessments. And what they've been doing is they're assessing people for the teams. And actually, the team rosters came out last night. So we know who's on what team. And they've been doing assessments. And they were finishing up the assessments last Sunday, which is the 20th. So we got pulled aside. A couple of the tots who were there me and a couple of other of the ones who were still tier 3. And they said, and our coach, who was Deadpool, who had already had her assessment, so it was cool. And she's like, I'm going to run you guys through a few things today. And we're going to work on, just some simple things. But when we get a chance, when the vets are done with the track, they're going to take a break. We're going to take over the track for 2 or 3 minutes. And we're going to do our 1 lap in 13 seconds. And then we're going to come back and we're going to work on some other shit. And I think we actually got integrated with the vets after that. And then she said, before we go home, we're going to do cone weaving. So basically what she was saying is we're finishing up tier 3. And now somebody had to go out and do their 27.5. And I wasn't registering it at that time. But they were like, well, she has to go out and do her 27.5. So you two are going to come down and we're going to practice cone weaving. So we did cone weaving for a while, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then the time came. We worked on a couple of other things, but the time came. And then it was like, okay, come over, get on the track. We're going to do our 1 lap in 13 seconds. So I go and I do my first lap. I do my lap. And she was like, you passed. I said, what's the time? And it was 12:37. I was like, oh, no. I said, no, I can do it faster. So the others went and did their stuff and, did their thing. And I said, can I do it again? Because I said, I know I can do it faster than 12 seconds. And she's like, yeah, everybody can do it again if you want, our coach. So I did it again, and she was like, 12:83. 11:83. And I was like, okay, 11:83, I'll take that because I know I can do this in under 12 seconds. So I took 11:83 as my best time. I don't know what it is. Part of what it is my groin muscles have been sore. And trying to do crossovers and trying to go real fast when your groin muscles are not wanting to cooperate is real difficult to do. And the reason my groin muscles are sore is because I've been doing a lot of plow blocking, which means I'm working those muscles that I've never had to work before. So yeah, every night I come home from practice and my groin muscles are they are. So we were done with that. And I passed my 1 in 13 and with 11:83. I was like, okay, cool. So we got integrated with the vets and we did drills. And I think we actually did some blocking drills. It was I remember the first time we were told, grab your water, we're going over to the other side. Now, the way the Overlook works, the Overlook has this big wall around it, like a half wall, like a hockey rink. It really does because they can play roller hockey in there. So it kind of has this wall around it like a hockey rink. And you only have 4 entrances through the wall onto the floor, which makes sense. And during bout day, we change over on one side. It's where everybody comes in, and there's benches there, and the skate shop is also there as well, so you can get your skates. So we all change on that side. But during bout day, that's where the spectators come in, and they actually have a wall partition that goes in and closes off that section of the wall like you would in a hockey rink. Yeah, then you have to walk all the way around, and they put spectators up in, I guess that would be the east end of the rink to sit and watch. And there's also spectators over in the west end of the rink. But the ones in the west end, once they're over in that area, you have to wait until halftime and stuff to move around. There is a bathroom behind them. but our track, the outer pack ref lines literally come right up to the edges of the wall on the sides. So we can, during practice, we change over on one end of the track. But when we play, we go to the opposite side of the track, and that's where the team benches are located, and it's where the penalty box bench is located. And to get to all this stuff, you go through an opening in the wall to get to it. It's kind of unusual in a way. Well, I guess it's not, because I've actually seen the same setup at a couple of other tracks. But it's like with hockey, you go in and out through this hole. So there's the added difficulty of making certain where you're going in and out, you're not running into people. And when you're doing this quickly, because you only have 30 seconds between jams, it can get quite, crazy. So when they say we're going over to the other side of the track, it means we're over on the team benches now, and we're doing stuff as if we're preparing for a bout. And we were doing, bout style drills. We were doing blocking drills and jamming drills and stuff like that. I can't remember exactly what we were doing, but I do know I did okay. And then it was like, okay, we're done. So we get over, and I'm not degearing right away. I go back over, and I'm not degearing right away because I remembered our coach said we're going to do cone weaving. And then I hear a call, Tots, come back out. We're going to do cone weaving. So. And we were going to get like 5 minutes to do cone weaving. That was it. We were going to do cone weaving for about 5 minutes. So go through the first time. And all she was going to say is, if you pass, I'll say pass. If you go through and you don't hear me say anything, it means you did not pass. So I was like, okay. So first time I go through it and I don't hear it. Second time I go through, I don't hear it, and we know we're on a clock. So you go through and then you get right back to the back of the line, because you're allowed to go through as many times as you want within that 5-minute period. The third time I went through, I screwed up. I mean, I actually just came right off and I knocked one of the cones off, and I said, okay, fuck it. And we put the cone back and I went to the back. And the fourth time I hit it, and I'm zipping through and I'm zipping through and I'm zipping through and I'm going through, and I hit the end and I hear pass. And then when it was all done, I said, what was my time? And she says 5:55. So I passed. There you go. So now I've got my 113 out of the way, and I have my cone weaving out of the way. That's 2 out of 3 for tier 3. So then after it was all said and done, we do our 5 minutes and we came off. And once you passed, it was like, you're done. Don't do it again. That's it. You're done. And then we went off and we de-gear. And as I'm walking out, I'm talking to Dash. And I said, so when am I going to get to do my 27.5 for tier 3? And she looks at me. She's like, well, you've already done it. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, we record when you do a 27.5. You don't have to do a 27.5 for tier 3. You've already done your 27.5. That's what we record. When you're a tot and you do your 27.5, we mark it and say, you've not done it. And that's when it started to hit me. I haven't been doing a 27.5 for like the last 2 or 3 weeks because I haven't needed to do one. I was like, oh my God, Okay, you know, that was the thing. It was like, you've already done your 27.5. We've marked it down. Don't worry. If you need to email somebody and tell them, hey, look, I did do, PM somebody and tell them I did do my 27.5, my tier 3, I did it for tier 3. I did it during tier 2, but she's like, no, you're done. That's it. You're done. And I'm driving home, and it doesn't hit me until I'm about halfway home. You passed tier 3. You're done. I mean, you passed tier 3. You did all the stuff you needed to do for tier 3. And that was the thing. It was like, well, why aren't I going out and doing a 27.5? Well, you don't need to go out and do a 27.5. You've already done yours. That's why. These are people that are doing their 27.5 because they have to do their 27.5 for assessment. You've already done yours. You don't need to do it again. And it was just like, I was kind of like, wow, I passed all my tiers. Which is the same to say I passed what they call the minimum required skills, the MRS, minimum required skills, for the Women's Flat Track Derby Association to consider you okay to begin scrimmaging / playing. And really, all through that time, I'm like, it's not hitting me in the same sense I thought it would. I always thought when I passed my MRS, it was going to be like a huge deal, and I was going to erupt, and there was going to be a lot of cheering and stuff. And it was really like, oh my God, I did. I passed. My MRS is done. I'm done. I am technically a certified skater. And I am. And one of the things that I get, one of the things they always said to do is, well, then, you're all going to be registered with WFDA and everything else. Now, my Derby name and everything had been registered with WFDA because of when I was with Hard. I can say their name. I'm not going to burst into flames. I had to have it because I had to buy insurance through WFDA because that was a requirement for being able to hit. When you certify with DDR, you had to register your Derby name and also buy insurance because you have to have that as a prerequisite for scrimmaging. Yeah. So Sunday goes by, and then Monday goes by, and then Tuesday morning I wake up at like 9:00, and there's a message for me. What's your Derby name again? No, it was Tuesday. Yeah. And I was like, what's your Derby name again? We're sending in all the information to WFDA to get you set up. It's like, okay. And then Wednesday morning, I went out and checked my profile because I'm like checking it every day, all the time now. And Wednesday, I go out and check my profile, and it states your league, Dutchland Derby Rollers. I am a certified skater with Dutchland Derby Rollers. Which means I am now cleared to scrimmage. With Dutchland, it's a different deal. I'm not cleared to play. I am cleared to scrimmage. I'm not cleared to play. Why? What does this mean? It means I have to now go through a scrimmage assessment. They have to make certain before I can be turned loose on the floor during a bout or an open scrimmage that I actually know what I'm doing. And as we were told real early on when we started in TOTS, everything at DDR, you're constantly going to be tested. That's what they told us. As you're a TOT, you're tested through each of your tiers. You are. It's very structured. We have assessments at each point to determine if you're going on. And then once you get out of tier 3 and you become certified, then they need to test to see if you actually know what you're doing when you scrimmage. Can you scrimmage? Are you going to be okay? Can you stay with the pack? Are you safe? And I've already had this conversation because Wednesday night when I was skating around, Punk, one of our other, she's a TOT coach, but she's also on the travel team, which is our All-Stars. She comes up to me and she says, hey, next Wednesday, the 30th, we're going to do a test scrimmage. And the way it's working out is the 30th of January, there will be what they call a test scrimmage, which is basically to get you used to knowing what you need to do for scrimmaging. And she's saying, I'm going to be watching you. Deadpool's going to be watching you. And if we see something that you need to fix, we're going to tell you. And I said, I understand. I'm not going to take it personally if you pull me aside and go, look, you're screwing up. Don't do that anymore. And she says, I know you have issues with getting lower. And she goes, I know you're getting better at that. You're doing well. You're getting lower. You have to watch your hitting. She says, primarily what we're going to be looking for is to make certain you can stay with the pack and you're safe. And I said, okay. But she said, you're really fortunate in that you're not being thrown straight into the scrimmage assessment. You're getting the test scrimmage next month, the next week. And then February the 6th is my scrimmage assessment. And that's going to be I'm playing with my hair. It's driving me crazy. That's the one for all the marbles. That is really, I guess you could say that's my last TOT test where after that, they'll tell me, okay, we think you're okay to go scrimmage. You can scrimmage with us. I was actually told you can actually scrimmage with other teams as long as it's an open scrimmage. And one of the reasons I brought that up is because I am registered to play at the Battle of the Freshies. And I said, do I need to tell them that I can't make it or not? And they said scrimmage assessment is on the 6th. If basically if I don't pass scrimmage assessment, then I need to notify them and say, hey, I can't make it. Something came up, But if I do pass scrimmage assessment, there's a good chance that I'll be allowed to play. One way or the other, I'm either going to be told, no, you need to contact them and tell them you can't make it, or I'll be told, yeah, you can go ahead and do it. One way or the other. We'll see what happens. It'll happen after February 6th, though. I mean, we had a crazy ass practice on Wednesday where I felt like I was completely lost for the most part. But Thursday night we did a lot more. We did some tripod drills and stuff like that. And I was actually getting some great feedback. Like you're doing this great. You're doing this well. That was really great. You're doing this great. I even get a couple of good feedback on my hitting. I mean, I need still to get lower and then pop up when I do hitting. And I'm getting better at that. But I threw in some hits on one of DDR's, from what I've been told, pretty hard hitters. And she was like, that was good hits. Those were good hits. And there was one during one of the drills where I actually knocked her out. And she was like, that was good. That was a good move. So I felt pretty good about that. So yeah, certified player. I am certified. I am certified with WFDA. Something that has taken me 601 days to do. 1 year, 7 months, 22 days. So I started this crazy ass journey on May the 30th, 2017. And I finally passed all of my tiers and got basically certified on January the 20th, 2019. 601 days, almost 600 days. 101 days. A little over a year and a half to achieve something I've been wanting to do for a while now. You live in a world where you know a certified derby skater. And after the next couple of weeks go by, next week and a half actually, once the next week and a half goes by, you'll know if you know a derby skater who actually is in a position to play. That I could go to open scrimmages and play. And an open scrimmage is essentially, it's a test game. It's a game where you have officials and you have scorekeeping and whatnot. It's just that it doesn't count for anything. It's like a practice game. But you do play for an hour. Yeah, you do get sent to the penalty box if you screw up. You know, it's more or less like it allows you to hone your skills while at the same time you're not going to affect your team's standing. If I pass scrimmage assessment, and I'm going to say I'm about 90% certain I will. I'm not going to say I'm 100% certain because there's always something that could come up and I don't realize what everyone's looking for and I could be doing it wrong. And it's one of the reasons why I am doing on the 30th, I'm doing the test assessment, because I will have a couple of coaches that will, you know, be telling me, look, you did this and you shouldn't do it. So next week, don't do that shit. You know, next week, don't do it. Because like they said, we want you to pass scrimmage assessment. You know, that's it. We want you to pass scrimmage assessment. So that's why you're doing this test assessment, so that we can see what you're doing right and tell you, you did this right, you did this right, you did this right, you're great. Don't worry. But if we see you doing something wrong, we want you to know it. And we want you to fix it, because if you're seen doing it during scrimmage assessment, that could go against you in terms of passing scrimmage assessment. And, you know, they did, like I said, I was told, we want you to pass scrimmage assessment. That's really, you pass scrimmage assessment, you're one more person that we can have available to possibly get on a team. You're one more person who could possibly be added to the roster. You know, that's what they want. You're no longer a tot. You're a person now. You're a certified skater who could be possibly added to a roster, and that's what they really want. Because they don't want me to be a tot forever. You know, they don't want me to be the person who shows up for practice and just keeps doing this stuff in the offhand hope that, oh, well, one day I'll get put on the roster. No, this is what they want. It's like, we want you to pass this, because once you pass, the next logical step after passing scrimmage assessment is I get a chance to try out for a team. I can say I want to try out for the Blitz. I've already stated, yes, once I pass scrimmage assessment, I want to try out for the Blitz. I may make it, I may not. If I don't make it, I can say like a couple of times while the season's still going on, I want to try out for the Blitz. And if I don't make it the first time, they'll probably tell me, you need to work on this, you need to work on this. And once you've done that, like in another month, you can try out again maybe. I don't know how they do that, but I do know they said you can try out for the blitz once you pass scrimmage assessment. And then after that, it's like, and if you want to be on the home team, which plays at the end of the year, all you have to say is, I want to be on the home team. And boom, I'll be on the home team. So there's where I'm at. And yeah, it's constant testing. It really is. And again, it goes back to something we were told. You will constantly be tested your entire time at DDR. I actually, I've seen it this last month with the returning vets who are all going through these assessment processes to determine what team they're going to be on. I mean, really, you see it happening. They're going through, and from what I'm told, it's like next year you'll be doing the same thing. You make a team next year, you're going to have to be reassessed to determine whether or not you can stay on the team, And I understand that. It's like, it's a constant testing process, and it keeps you on your toes because you won't get complacent. If there was one thing that happened to me when I was at Hart, it was I did get complacent. I got very complacent. DDR, you get complacent, you're going to find somebody taking your spot. Seriously. Yeah, really. If you get complacent, if, for example, say I were to make the blitz, and all of a sudden I just start coasting. I play a couple of bouts. I go to the home team. I play a few bouts. And then next year comes around, and I haven't improved as a player in that time. I get complacent. It's like, okay, I don't have to worry about this. I don't have to work hard anymore. I'm on a team. Yay for me. I may find myself not getting as much playing time. I mean, I could still be on a roster, but all of a sudden I could find myself going from, well, you used to play every fourth jam. Now you're only playing every sixth jam because we're not seeing any improvement out of you. And then come assessment next year, it could be like, you just didn't do as good. So you could end up being an alternate. Or you could still be on a roster, but you could be told you're not going to get as much playing time. I don't know. But it is all about testing. It is all about improving as you go along. And continuing to improve and in continuing to do this stuff. And getting better the whole time. I mean, I've already said, I don't know that I'll ever be good enough to be on the all-star team. I think I can become good enough to get on the blitz. I don't know that I'll ever be good enough to get on the all-star team. And a lot of it is just my age is working against me. But that doesn't mean I can't try. And that doesn't mean I can't work harder to be able to do so. Now, because I'm coming out of the TOT program, we were already told you are not allowed to try out for the all-star team. Yeah, that's just it. The year you come out of the TOT program, you're not going to try out for the all-star team. It's just not going to happen. They don't allow it. Your skills are just not that good. I mean, like I've said before, the all-stars are the best of the best. The blitz are your best players. They're really good players. Everybody on the team is really good players. If you've certified and passed scrimmage assessment, you're a really good player. And the blitz is the really good players. The all-stars are the really, really good players. That's really for a lot of marbles. So we'll see. It's now a case of I just have to keep working. Now I can't sit back because now it's the next test. Now it's scrimmage assessment. Then it's now team assessment. Now it's like, okay, if I make the team and I get rostered and I get into a bout, how much harder do I have to work to prove to my coach that I deserve more playing time, or that maybe I want to be a pivot, which is really what I want to be. So in order to be a pivot, I got to start during some of the drills, I got to start doing a lot more jamming, being a jammer, because that's the only way you're going to get to be a pivot. As Lacey Knight said, if you train as a pivot, you have to train as a jammer, which means I have to get fast. I have to know how to get through packs and stuff like that, which is some of the stuff we learn how to do. I remember one of the things we were doing last Sunday, and it was like how to get around a pack. And I had a lot of fun with it. I did. I really enjoyed the drill. One of the drills we did, I was having a lot of fun with it. And one of the things they did say during scrimmage assessment is you will play all three positions. You will be a blocker, you will be a pivot, you will be a jammer, because we want to see how you do. It's going to be insane, but it's going to be fun. It really is. I'm looking forward to it. I won't say I'm not nervous, because I am. I really am nervous. But here we go. Yay me. We'll see. So almost an hour. I didn't think I was going to talk almost an hour. Got rambling. So here you are. Oh, and once I pass scrimmage assessment, I get to use my derby name. Yeah, get to use my derby name. You still don't know what my derby name is. Some people do, because I've told them. And I actually had a couple of people at practice last Wednesday night. Actually, they called out my derby name, and it was like, whoa, I heard that. One person actually said, I'm going to have to now get used to calling you by that name. And she's like, that's going to be a little strange. And I was like, I said, I've done the same thing. I've had friends who went from, you call them by their birth name, and all of a sudden it's like, well, got to call them by their derby name now. She said my derby name, and she's like, I'm going to have to get used to calling you that. Which is a good feeling. So there you go. And once I get permission to use that, I had actually asked about it. And they said, well, you've got your derby name registered. You could probably use it. And I was like, you know what? That doesn't seem fair to the other people who have passed tier 3, who aren't going to get to use their derby name until after they pass scrimmage assessment. So I said, I will just wait until after scrimmage assessment. I'm not gonna be that person. When the other members who pass scrimmage assessment get to use their derby names, then I will do the same. So, because they're my teammates, and that's how you do it. Okay, so talk long enough. I will talk to you later. Bye.